Ma'aser, giving a tithe of your money to tzedakah. He says, "Yadua ma'alat ma'aser ki rabba ad she'amru b'chol davar asul la'nasot Hashem chutz min ha'ma'aser." Ma'aser is so powerful, it's so great, the privilege of giving ma'aser, that usually Hashem says, "You're never allowed to do a mitzvah and test me and say, Hashem, I'm going to do this mitzvah. I'm going to go pray. I'm going to put on tefillin. I'm going to go and learn. I'm going to go and do this act of kindness, and I'm going to go see where is going to be my reward coming from. I'm going to test you, Hashem. You promised in the Torah good blessings if you do mitzvot. Let's go see. I want to see." You're not allowed to do that in general, but there's one place that Chazal say you're allowed to. That is by Maaser, the Gemara Masechet Ta'anit, Tet Amud Aleph 9a. So Hashem says, someone who gives Maaser, what does he get? The Pasuk in Malachi says, "Hanuni na bezot ki im lo eftach lechem arubot hashamayim rokid lechem bracha ad bli dai." Right? Because Baruch Hu will give a person blessings from the storehouses of Shamayim. I will give you blessing ad bli dai, until the Gemara says, until the point where you have to say, Hashem, no more, die, must speak. I can't have any more money, no more bracha, please, I can't take it anymore. That's the point of blessing you will receive if a person gives maaser. The Midrash says, Lecha Hashem et tzedakah, velanu boshet hapanim. Right, the pasuk in Daniel, it says, Hashem, for you is the tzedakah, and for us is the embarrassment of our face. Amar Nehemiah, אפילו בשעה שאנו עושים את הצדקה, מביטים אנו מעשים שלנו, ויש לנו בושת פנים. ואין לנו שעה שאנו באים בזרוע, אלא בשעה שאנו מוציאים מעשרותינו. He says, when we're doing the tzedakah, we look at our deeds and we have embarrassment. But when we come through the tzedakah, come to the maaser, it uplifts us and saves us from that embarrassment. And you see how powerful the maaser is, that it gives us that tremendous zichut. We do a lot of pleasant and give happiness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He says, therefore, we should be chazik. We should be important for us to give maaser and to give tzedakah, specifically the maaser, according to the proper calculation. A person should learn the halachot of maaser, when to calculate, how often to calculate, when to give, before taxes, after taxes, before expenses, after expenses. What do you use the maaser for? Then preferably you should be given to poor, needy Talmidei Chachamim, not just to buy books for the shul. The most highest form of tzedakah, of maaser, is to give it to people who are needy, especially before the holidays, Sukkot. How could the Chazal tell us that a person can have a sukkah and invite the shpizin? How can you invite the shpizin for a wondrous meal when you have brothers and sisters who don't have what to eat on the sukkot? For the expenses of the holiday are great. How can a person go and sit and not invite his friends, but not give money to the poor people to celebrate the holiday? How can you have a samachta b'chagecha if someone else is not a samachta b'chagecha? So therefore, how important it is to give maaser. He says, בורא סמיות עיניים שגורם לו יצר הרע, שהאדם נותן מעלות בריבית כדי להרוויח, ומה גם במקום בטוח, אף שפי האמת אין ביטחון בין אדם שנותן תשועה. People, they're willing to invest money. No, Rabbi, it makes sense to throw money in the stock market, even though they might lose it. No, Rabbi, it makes sense to give loans with interest. You're going to get your money back, but who says the guy's going to pay back? Maybe he's not going to pay back at all. Maybe he's going to default completely. So people trust and throw their money without even thinking twice in these investments. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu, imagine you give a loan to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, of course, is going to pay back. And Hashem, He says, don't think I'm just going to give you the principal. I'm going to give you a rebate. I'm going to give you interest. I'm going to give you more. Whoever gives maaser, the Gemara says, give maaser in order give maaser in order that you should become rich. Segula to become rich. Segula from who? Segula from the Gemara. And you can take it to the bank, that's Segula. And why? The Gemara Baruch Hu says, I'm going to for sure pay you back. I'm going to give you even more. So a person will have a doubt, should I give a loan to Hashem? Of course I'm going to give a loan to Hashem. Hashem is the biggest investment and the biggest guarantor in the world. Of course He's reliable. So therefore, a person should be bitachon in Hashem when he gives maaser. The Kadosh Baruch Hu is definitely going to pay him back. Don't give into the Yetzer Hara, because Yetzer Hara will tell you, no, let them work. Why should I give them tzedakah? I work, let them work. What do I need to give them for? If they really deserve, Hashem would give them. But the person has to realize that Hashem is trying to give you the zechut of Olam Haba. By you giving them a little bit of this world, they'll give you a little bit of the world to come. So therefore, a person has to realize that Hashem made this for the zechut of you. Don't focus on them, focus on what your obligation is. He says that we have to know, he says that Chazal tell us everything that we're supposed to get is decreed from Tishrei to Tishrei. What's the month of Tishrei? First of Tishrei is Rosh Hashanah. So from Rosh Hashanah, from Tishrei to Tishrei, everything we're supposed to get is determined already, except for Tishrei. Except for the acronym Tishrei, that's not determined how much we're supposed to get. What does that mean? Torah, Shabbat, Rosh Chodesh, Yom Tov, Tishrei. whatever you spend for Torah, what do you spend for Shabbat, what do you spend for Rosh Chodesh, what do you spend for Yom Tov, those things are not included in how much parnasah you're supposed to make. A person's supposed to make, I don't know, $500,000 a year, let's say. Hashem decrees on him Rosh Hashanah. So for that $500,000, however much money he spends the entire year, it's only going to be that. He's not going to be able to go above. He's not going to be able to get more than that parnasah. But then, what about maybe I should be cheap on Shabbat, maybe I should be cheap on Yom Tov, maybe I should be cheap with my son's yeshiva, I don't want to spend so much money, I want to have more leftover money for my decree for other things. Says the Gemara that it is wrong to think like that. Really, whatever you spend for Yom Tov, Shabbat, and your Rosh Chodesh, and your son's school, and for your Torah learning, all those things, Hashem pays for it. Hashem take it from His account, it's not from your account. We don't deduct from your decree. The person has to realize when you go shopping, you're using the credit card of who? Of the black card of Hashem. Hashem says, borrow on me, on my account, and I'll pay you back. So therefore, a person, before the month of Tishrei,